Nate Shaw here with Big Music Games and the Brooklyn Music Factory. We're going to talk about how to take Wait a Second, this great interval ear training game that's perfect for kids ages 4 all the way, honestly, up to adults 44. You know what I'm saying? We're going to figure out how to take this game and apply it to the instrument. So the very first thing we're going to do in this video is look at just beginners. So the obvious choice for Wait a Second and its application to piano is getting them more and more comfortable with their C hand position. So you can do what I call a sort of a motif game. You're going to ask them to play the interval of a second, which they would have just been working on, and then they're going to compose a little tail to that, a little motif they're going to add on to it. So that would be a perfect example. Okay, now do the same thing, but start with a third. Right? And they're going to keep going. Now, can you write a melody that starts with a fourth? Beautiful. Now, can you write a melody that starts with a fifth? Etc. We move on from there. Now, let's do the same thing, but let's add a little groove. So here's a groove that's very Wait a Second-ish. Can you write a melody starting with a second, but with a drummer? Give them a shot. You get the idea. Next thing that you're going to do to level your beginning pianist up is you're going to take a look at some of those chords that they may be working on. So you could do a 2-note power C chord. You could do a full triad. But you're going to ask them to do the same thing, which is play a chord in the left hand and compose a melody using an interval in the right hand. So for example, can you write me a melody starting with a fourth? Beautiful. Can you do the same thing starting with a fifth? Lead with the chord, write a melody in the right hand. You get the idea. Now, with your beginner pianists that are moving on up through the songwriter's journey levels, let's say they're getting all the way up to levels 5 and 6, then you can introduce the same idea, but intervals in G position, right? You still just refer to them as seconds, thirds, fourths, and fifths in G position, or you can go all the way to dirty D position because they're going to have to learn how to play a D major triad. This gives you a great opportunity to ask them to play a third, do this, and ask, does that sound the same as the third you played in Wait a Second? Try adding an F sharp. That's the third we're going to use. Okay, so those are just some really simple ways to apply Wait a Second as a melody game to the piano to encourage getting much more comfortable in a hand position. Have fun with it.